Hi guys, Baker here from War and Glory. Just for a little recap of our war against war whales in the week. Close victory. Don't want to call it a comeback, but yeah, comeback. Is 35 minutes to go. We were 114 down to 87 for us. And in the last 35 minutes we had 27 unanswered stars, including 10v10, 3 fresh 11v11 triples. Still were fully up against it. They had 1 10 or 11 attack in hand, and they dip failed in a mad last minute where we put on 7 stars and they put on none to clinch it. So let's start with some 10v10s and then we'll go into that ending part. But there are a couple of attacks from earlier in the war. So this one, it's Chloe up against Adam. And what we're going to see, we're seeing this a few more times recently, is sort of a HDGHB at Town Hall 10. A few variations of this, some all giants, some with a golem, some with CC bowlers, some with CC hogs. This one we've got CC hogs and 1 golem, really short walk, and really great use. You use a skelly there where you've got 2 close single inferno. So 1 skelly there is distracting both, kept his king up through the first one. King is now locked on by the Inferno, but it's done the big damage of gutting their core. And now you can see the hogs, the CT hogs, a bit more tanky coming in at 12. And healers are still up, that's the main thing. They're providing some tank. Queen's actually decided to abandon the healers, but those giants are taking a lot of tank down at 6. And hogs probably would have walked through this base with plenty of space, but there was some skellies on it early on. There was a few outside bombs that they had trapped, but when you've still got Queen ability, she's still in the core, still taking that tank, it was only ever going to be one result, and great attack. On to the next. Let's go up. Jim there. Jim had a 6-pack for us. We'll have a look in a sec at his other one. This is Nex. So Queen walk here. Queen was going to start at 5 with some whizzies for funnel. Going to drop the king in here at 4 to clear that area, so the queen's really looking to go forward. King does amazing, decides that it's going to bash through a wall and take out this Tesla, and AT really worked out well for it. Queen goes in, takes the king. It's going to wall break through that expo compartment so he can really get in, take the queen out, take the CC out, and as you can see, he's now got this straight line from 8 to 9 where he can launch his Lalo and then just keep pushing across the base with his queen. How this queen stays up for the whole of this raid is unbelievable. If you just keep looking at her, she has a few moments where she is on her very last legs. She is there, just about hanging on. And again, just about hanging on. She's got a heel down at the top, covering those whiz towers, 3 whiz towers pretty close together. This base is wrecked. It's top attack here from Jim. Next even, sorry. Jim's next. So yeah, let's have a look at our 6-pack beast. Jim, love this walk. So you can see this one, it's a base with a separate compartment across from 11 till 1. And what he's going to try and do is he's used a bit of funnel with a baby drag, and he's going to walk that queen all the way down and round. And the key with this is the timing of when he takes each aspect. So he's used that hog there so that the CC is there early, dropped his king to make sure that the queen goes in and not around. Get the rage down so the queen's up full health. A Valk somehow pops out of the CC a bit later than the rest, but he now knows he can go Inferno and AQ with his ability, which he's just using now. Then as soon as the queen's in there, he can drop his rage on the queen, knows it's okay, let's go Lalo. And those loons can only go one way. They're going from 6 to 8 straight across the base. Queen's at the back, still going, full health, is going to try and take out everything from the outside. Loons would have done it anyway, but take out that last hit on the 8 AD. Cannon goes down, destroyed. Really, really clean attack. Good stuff, Jim. Bye-bye. I love puppies. So let's go to the last 40 minutes or so. And we did have to change our plans a little bit here. Is we're now to go. We had MG, who's a really good 10v10 hitter, missed on both his attacks, unfortunately, and we really were up against it at that point. So we knew suddenly from going, we might be doing some 10v11 to we've got to go full out 11v11 and 10v10 with what we had left. So Garrett now goes with the 11v11. This is the start of our comeback into it. King down at 6. Fresh hit this. Queen in. Broke through. And the aim is to get her in this compartment, and the best we could hope for here really was that it takes out that central whiz tower. That just means that the Lalo's got a really easy path. You can go 3 and 4 and across, and with its last hit, Queen just gets that whiz tower down. So it can push across from 3 and 4, and then heavy from 1, and then just march across the base. What you'll see, take a Skelly and a poison this CC, and use the Warden's ability so that gets through. Then after the ability, Rage and Skelly the Queen. So Queen's being taken care of. You're fully using that Rage rather than just drop it on the Town Hall where you're doing no benefit for the loons. Heal over the end, and he's absolutely crushed it. Great attack. Just going to take out this last AT. I mean, minions and pups would have done it if anything else needed it. Loads left. Superb hit. So that got us definitely back in it. I was about to hit 2 10v11. After that, it was shouted, go hit 10v10. Hadn't really got a lot of time to hit a plan because I still had 2 11v11 hits to it. So looked at this base. It was quite a low base. Looked like it was quite bitch friendly, and it had a really good spot at the top where I just felt I could drop some healers on a couple of witches and they would do a significant amount of damage. Another one of those weird bases where you've got the segment away from the main base, a bit like the one where we saw earlier with the Queen Walk. If you can go around that and actually isolate it, then they become quite weak. So drop them first, jump down, and one golem, and then just use a few giants. There's no point sending a golem just to its death on a single inferno. So you want to try and do it as delay as possible, so that your golem's going to get some value. And it just got in here, got the bombs and got the inferno down. Get everything else through that middle. Both infernos down, and Queen can just keep picking off while sides are still going. And now people are moving their bombs back into the core because Lalo, Hogs, there's so many different ways, single infernos rather than the multis. Bombs become more key to be in the core. That sort of brings some of these attacks back into play when they're not loaded all around the outside with the big bombs. And this is it, those healers. You can see those 3 witches, they've lasted the whole raid. They're just going to take out his last few troops, anything that's left. And another one back for us. So we still needed plenty. We still needed at least 2 more 11v11s. We failed the next 2 10v10 hits. So again, up against it. Vinny, fresh hit on Disciple. And that, I suppose, I think really then did put the pressure on that dip. And if you put the pressure on the dip, hey, they are failed, and they did fail theirs at the end. I think we only had one person watching it because we were all watching the Garrett 11v11, but it got us there. So big hit from Vinny. Vinny's going to walk all the way from 6 round to 3. Aim is just to keep on going, and then he can drop his Warden in, drop a Golem in, drop the Bowlers in, drop the King in, and get a real big hit in the course for some tanking, and then he can drop his Hogs round from, say, 11-12 and walk all the way down. King decided it didn't fancy going in, fancied a walk, which it didn't help. I'm sure Vinny will say he planned that, but I'm sure he also say he planned that the Bowlers breaking through the wall. But they're in the middle, Warden, Queen, tanking away, he can keep going with those hogs. You can see they're almost all still full health. Just chuck that heel down on the Inferno, knowing that everything's going to get there eventually. King's still going. Obviously, OP clean-up, meant all the way. And round it goes. So, another 11v11 triple. And then we get to the last minute. So, a couple more perfect dips from us. And in the last minute, we had 3 dips. Mine, Assassin and Vinny all knocked theirs out super quick. Jumped out of that, jumped straight into Garrett. And yeah, this is the clincher. So Garrett's going to go with the Queen Walk here. Sort of a HGHB for 10 or 11. So we're sitting at 10 or 10. Now we've got 10 or 11. Take out the King early on and create that funnel where he's going to clear 3, start walking up, and then the bulk of the troops is going to drop in at 1. Use giants only on this one because, as you can see, where that Inferno is, it's just going to lock straight on whatever touches that mortar. No point really dropping a golem there that's just going to die. So let's use the giants, use a load of bowlers, warden ability through that compartment where there's almost always going to be bombs and CC. Those wizards doing a great job on clean up. And you've got a bit of a split here. So you've got Warden, some King and Bowlers down right in the core. Queen goes where she wants. She decides she's going to go whack a wall up at 10:30. But Queen's like the glory. So she decides once everything looks like it's all good, those hogs are working round, she'll come down, take out these last few buildings. Don't worry about that Inferno. Go for the gold storage. That's what you want. And probably did need this last heal. Could have swagged it, but hey, it's the end of war. You do what you got to do. And heal goes down on the Inferno. Down it goes. Take out those last couple of skellies. Those wizards still walking around. 2 or 3 wizards there. Probably cleared 20 buildings going around from 12. So there you go, guys. Yeah, great win. Fully unexpected, probably with an hour to go. 114, get the percent win. On to the next. See ya.